So I think we drink matcha every day, or most of us do, mainly because of its health benefits, right? And over time, with its rising popularity, many recipes have kind of gone out of it and it's become a bit of a trendy drink. But I think it's good to remind ourselves sometimes how much of a pure, healthy drink matcha actually is. This video will just be covering 5 proven health benefits of matcha. So we all know, we'll remind ourselves, or we'll discovering for the first time how good of a drink matcha is for us. Furthermore, we'll also be looking at the end on one very personal indirect benefit that matcha has had on me, which it was probably the most unexpected, but funny enough, probably the one that has influenced and changed my life the most. Now, to kick this off, let's start with the first area in which matcha really helps us thrive, the brain. Now, a key aspect of matcha is L-theanine, which is an amino acid which basically gives us relaxation without the drowsiness. And combined with caffeine, which matcha also has, it gives us this stable, long-lasting energy with all of the jitterness and nervousness that comes associated with coffee. For me personally, I'm from Italy, and I've been living here basically all my life. So I was a 5 to 6 espresso per day person. And yeah, you get the charge and the energy right after the espresso shot, but it crashes quickly. And on your third, when you're going up and down, it really kind of gets you nervous, and it can be more destabilizing than stabilizing. One thing I've noticed with this combination of L-theanine and caffeine that matcha has is that although it might come gradually and you'll feel the energy from the caffeine and L-theanine slower, it will last longer. And for me personally, it has made it so much easier to go and get into the flow of things, whether it be work or something I need to do personally. Because I think if I can summarize this, L-theanine and caffeine make the energy of matcha feel much more mental, when the caffeine boost from coffee, and in particular espresso, seems much more physical. And this brings us to benefit number 2, which your body will thank you for. Now, you've probably heard of the words antioxidants associated with matcha thousands of times. And benefit number 2 actually derives from the catechins, which are the antioxidants in matcha, and particularly one which is EGCG. I'll have it spelled right here, what it actually stands for. So basically what this EGCG does is that it's an antioxidant which helps the cells protect from oxidation damage. So the many numerous benefits it can have is it can reduce inflammation, and it basically protects your immune system and your body from harm in many different ways. So when you are sipping matcha like this, and you do it every day for a while, and you feel like, in general, you feel your body is healthier and stronger and you feel more protected, these are the antioxidants working for you. Now, another great benefit matcha has is on our metabolism. And this brings us to benefit number, is how matcha helps our metabolism. Basically, through a mixture of the catechins, antioxidants, and the caffeine, matcha supports thermogenesis, which basically means it speeds up our metabolism. It increases fat oxidation. And also, because of this stable energy boost, it gives us less the impulse of hunger or the perception of hunger. In fact, matcha is actually, or green tea in general, is famously known to be one of the fewest drinks, and sometimes an advised drink to have if you're doing fasting or intermittent fasting, because it kind of calms your hunger sensations, cravings, meanwhile keeping your body well nourished and your metabolism functionally correctly. But it's not just metabolism that matcha helps, and this brings us to benefit number 4, which is a pretty popular topic I've seen recently. And me personally, I've been paying more attention to, which is gut health. Now, as we've said, unlike coffee, which is the most comparable drink out there, Matcha is gentle to our stomach and it's less acidic. It's aggravating, it's more calming. But actually not only that. Because of these anti-inflammatory aspects, matcha helps the production of good bacteria versus the bad bacteria in our gut. And this makes it probably one of the fewest ingredients or drinks or natural products out there which helps our gut health and most importantly our digestion from the inside out. Obviously, it's not resistant to super aggressive diets, but in general, a good dose of matcha a day will regulate your stomach. And personally, if I have to share an experience, I'm a person who has IBS as well. I have an irritable bowel and there are many ingredients which kind of destabilize my gut and my stomach. And in general, I just metabolize a lot of sensations and a lot of emotions in my stomach as well. And coffee, I use milk as well. And coffee, especially, really didn't seem to help. And every time I drank an espresso, it seemed to make it worse or aggravate the feeling I've been already kind of stirring up. Instead, matcha really has given me a stable safety net, which doesn't instigate anything around my stomach. Actually, when I do feel like I've had a bad meal or my stomach isn't digesting properly, it really helps me balance it out in the next couple of hours or day. And for me personally, for my stomach and gut, it's a miracle drink. Furthermore, I mean, if we look at the general other direct benefits of matcha that we haven't focused on because there's so many, but these are, let's say, the most important, visible, noticeable, and let's say the most powerful. Matcha is always also full of loads of vitamins and minerals. However, I have to say, overall, we've discussed direct benefits until now, which means the benefits that stem after me drinking the drink. So what the beverage does to me directly, for me, equally, if not most importantly, one of the benefits I've had the most from matcha is indirect. And now I'll show you this fifth key benefit. So the final fifth proven benefit of matcha, and in this case, it's a particular proven because before the other four were proven by science, this is proven by personal experience, is the ritual. Now, if you follow me and if you've seen my videos and my pages, you'll see that this word has been creeping around and I've been trying to, let's say, promote this aspect subtly and not subtly as much as I can, because that is probably one of the most important and life-changing takeaways that I've been getting from this whole green tea experience, not only matcha. Now, how does this ritual effect work? I'll show you how this works for an example, if we take a day in my life. Whether you've slept well, you haven't slept well, or you just wake up in the morning in the state you're in, committing to preparing your matcha without your phone there and just, pouring the tea leaves, then whisking it, and then making your final cup, which whether it's a pure matcha like this or it's a matcha latte, and having those 2-3 minutes to yourself. If you can extend it to when you're drinking your whole drink and make it a 5 to 10 to 15-minute moment, excellent. I do that very often too. Just sit down with your matcha from the moment you've made it to the moment you're drinking it. Kind of make it a meditative moment where you're just sitting there, letting your body feel and just being with yourself about it. That, I cannot tell you how many times it has given me clarity, given me a moment to process things that maybe I hadn't processed. And it just gives you a moment out of the chaos of the daily pace we can have. And once the drink is over, I'll be quickly on my way and on my fast paced, numerous things I need to be doing. However, during lunchtime, more or less, or after lunch, I'll have that moment again. Or maybe I'll decide to do it in the afternoon. I'll decide. Generally, I'll have 2 matchas a day. And I'll decide the specific moment to take a break, because maybe while I was eating, I was working. I know, not the best habit. Or I was watching a video while I was eating. But when I have my matcha, no phones are allowed. That's my strict policy. And I recommend this to you too. It's always there. You enjoy every moment of it by observing how the matcha is when you open the can. If you've noticed it getting a little bit more oxidated or not, trying to maybe play some fun games in your mind of how many scoops of the spoon are equate to the perfect ratio of flavor you like. Pour it, whisk it, try different whisking techniques if you want to. Sit down and be with yourself and the tea for a while and just give yourself the freedom of not having to forcefully think or do anything at the moment. Let your mind think what it wants to think it out. I mean, the video of the previous week of Uji actually genuinely stemmed from one of those wandering thought moments. That's what I kind of end up calling them, wandering thought moments, because you just sit there and let your thoughts wander. And sometimes it's random nonsense. Sometimes it can be aggravating. It happens. And sometimes it's like, oh, yeah, it's an enlightening moment. And in that case, it generated a video for me. Maybe in other cases, it might help you resolve a conflict in a relationship or understand clearly some problem you aren't being able to resolve. Can be anything. Or just can give you much more simply a pause and just doesn't have to be anything too enlightening. Anyways, that's my, let's say, invitation to you guys to start enjoying matcha, first of all, if you haven't been, because of the direct health benefits. Everyone will have more or less of these different types of health benefits because we're all different, but there will be absolutely some benefits. And if you want to step it up a notch, then my invitation to you is to try to integrate this intentional ritualistic aspect to your matcha moment, which I said can be from 2 to 15 minutes. It doesn't have to be a set length. It can be short if you're in a hurry, long if you have more time. And give yourself a moment with yourself to play around and observe what your wandering thoughts are. And actually, let's have some fun. I mean, I don't know how many people will be watching this video, but I'd be interested to know what your wandering thoughts are in the comments, just to see if you have tried it and to be curious what you guys have as wandering thoughts during your tea. Now, if you've liked it and if you found any of this useful and educational or of help, like, subscribe. I'll be showing you more about my whole entrepreneurial green tea journey and everything I've been learning and everything I can transfer to you that green tea may help you make our lives better for. And thank you, and see you at the next one.